Can you tell me, do you both have bicycles?
No, I don't.
I do.
Do bicycles get stolen a lot here?
I've heard that, and I'm quite certain my bicycle has been stolen and resold to me, but it's been safe.
Resold to you?
I think so. So I'm in my final year of my PhD. I started back in 2018, and that meant that my application had to go in December 2017, and I applied for a position that had funding attached to it. Very often PhD positions don't have funding attached to them and you have to apply for those separately, but I applied for a position that had a supervisor and funding attached to it already.
What was your area, by the way?
So I'm based at the Pedal Centre, which focuses on play, so children's play, how they develop through play. And so my project is looking at parent and child play in the UK and in India.
India, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, how many more years?
Oh, this is it, last few months, and then I'm done.
So, I mean, if you can tell me if I'm getting into your personal space, but why you chose doing PhD?
To be very honest, at that time, it was just, I really was excited. I was working as a research assistant at the centre already. So at that point, it was just exciting for me to continue being in that space. I really enjoyed the work, really liked the people. And so it was really just because it was interesting.
Is it helpful that you know the supervisor already?
It definitely helped to have spoken to him before and known him. It just made me know what I was getting into.
And your master was also in a similar aspect?
My master's was in child development.
Honestly, I respect you a lot for that.
Thank you.
What profession you're looking into after doing a PhD? Academia or going as consultancy or what?
Moving out of academia, but staying with research. So moving into the industry, looking at research-backed roles, going back home to India, working with NGOs, consultancies, think tanks, that sort of space there.
Double respect. I may sound, unnatural, but I respect you a lot for what you are saying. So if you have the bicycle that was resold to you.
I suspect that.
After how many months you got it back?
Oh, no. It was stolen probably from someone else and sold to me in the first place.
Okay. So that's the ecosystem you became part of.
Apparently, unwittingly, I didn't realize this was my first week in Canada.
Yeah, because I have a friend in China and she told me the exact same story. Yeah. Okay, great. So Miss Sarah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I just saw your name. Yeah, so you are also doing PhD?
No, I'm here for a master's one-year program.
Program in which major?
It's a dual degree in business and biotech. It's called Master's in Bioscience Enterprise.
Okay. So if you please, hold the mic and tell us what was the admission process?
Yeah, absolutely. So we applied around January last year, and then there was an interview process where the program administrators and coordinators interview for about 30 minutes, and then we found out about a month later. So it was sending in, your CV, an essay, a personal statement, your grades from undergrad, and then the interview.
Yeah, and what about the grades?
Our grades, I believe they had to be above 3.8, like from U.S. standards. Yeah, 3.8 GPA from U.S. standards were required, I believe. It's been a while.
So whether is it absolute grading or relative, that doesn't matter, 3.8?
Yes, but they also, because it is fairly holistic, they also look at your work experience. It's fine if you come a little bit under. They look at your personal statement. They try to figure out if you really belong apart from grades as well through the interview process.
And if you don't mind, what are the questions they asked you in the interview?
Things like who has been a trailblazer for you in the biotech industry, who are some business people you look up to, what are some innovations in the life science industry that have left a mark on you, how are you entrepreneurial, what has your work experience been and why has that led you to this specific program, things like that.
So no question to shock you or make you nervous?
No, nothing purposeful in that sense.
They did not ask what is the temperature of sun or something?
No, it wasn't a consulting interview. It was just a genuine, why this program.
So, which college you are?
I'm in Homerton.
So let's suppose you know, by chance you become master of college week, and you have unlimited resources and is there any one or two changes missing?
I think Harmonton College has been doing really well in terms of inclusivity and diversity, but I feel like we should have more programs that include, you know, the non-standard student, whether they come from a lower income background or a minority background. I think more events can be held just so that they feel welcome and comfortable in the Cambridge space.
So I'm part of Homerton as well. We're at the same college, and I don't know. I've been quite happy with my experience there so far. I think they're very open. They're very supportive. I've had
I assume you're international. So can you explain the experience of international students? Are there enough scholarships available?
Oh no, definitely not enough scholarships available.
Workload, you know, I really love the way that you are very clear, which is great. You know, there's a perception among the students, which in my point of view is wrong, that you can do part-time work to finance your studies or your stay. Is it true? Do you agree?
It does help. If it is difficult to work with this funding, I have taken on part-time work, but also I've been able to take work that helps my experience as well. So that's been nice to have.
Yeah, so if you got the job of catering on the weekend, that's not going to help, I believe.
I'd prefer to avoid it, but I also have the luxury of being able to avoid it. Mine's my scholarship funding me.
But
Yeah, go on.
if an international student want to come here, as you said, there are not much of scholarships for international students. How much they have to pay per month?
Outside of tuition, I'd say rent and then expenses. If you're not overspending, I'd say £1,000 to £1,200 ish a month.
Okay, £1,200 and
It's not counting any of your tuition or any of that.
and the tuition, how much is it?
That varies course by course. So
Oh, no, and can you give an example?
So 50,000 for international students. Yeah. So yeah, and about 15 to 20,000 for UK-based students. Correct. Yes. For my master's program, courses vary, and so that's for my course. Yes.
we had to do the IELTS, and that needs you to have like 8 on 9.
I didn't have
I think. Oh, of course you didn't. But Cambridge also has its own assessment, so I had to do that over and above that as well. Yeah, for IELTS. Sometimes they're okay with like 7.5, but 8 is what they normally expect.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Krishna and ma'am. Thank you so much.